So, Taylor and Camille, uh, welcome to this conversation. And we're going to start with asking you, how did you both get started with presenting and PowerPoint?
I mean, I started just like anybody with their job. So I started for PricewaterhouseCoopers. We built most of our client pitches and deliverables in PowerPoint, which then carried over when I started working with other companies in China. Just everything that we did was in PowerPoint. So building PowerPoint decks, presenting them on stage, on webinars, as printed documents, you name it, PowerPoint and did it.
Okay.
Yeah, similar for me. I was working in event planning and PR and marketing, and it was the same thing. Everything was requested in PowerPoint. So whether it was like a pitch proposal for a new client, which would be printed or emailed and also delivered live, whether it was a report for how well we'd done after the campaign was over, whether it was, so many things. Just everything was created in PowerPoint. And so we got, both of us in our own separate jobs, became quite good and quite curious about how to become good at PowerPoint, because it was an integral part of our jobs, is using it every single day.
Awesome. So how did both your jobs become one job? How did you all become a team?
It's a longer story, but the short version of that is, so we were living in China for many years, and we decided that we wanted to leave China, and we didn't want to go back to the States. So we when we were going to quit our jobs, so we basically pooled our heads together and came up with an idea that we could teach other people kind of advanced PowerPoint speed training tricks as a means to work online and then start traveling the world to find the next best place to live.
I remember had an aha moment when I told my boss, I gave her many months advance notice that I was going to be leaving. And she said, oh, okay, well, I don't really care about any of the handover, but teach the rest of the team PowerPoint. So I thought, okay, this is really, I knew people already were coming to me for help, and I was doing lunch and learns in my company. But when she said, I don't even care about any of the client stuff, just do PowerPoint, it was like, okay, this is definitely something that, we can share with more people.
Yes. And so where all in the world have you all been based?
Oh, we've been to so many places in complete disorder, but we started our travels actually in Fiji. We spent 2 months in Fiji, and that was just an incredible way to start the whole adventure. But over the last, I guess it's been almost 7 years now, 6 years now, we've been all over. We've been in Europe. We spent some time in Spain, in Ukraine, and France. We've also been to Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Puerto Rico. We've spent a fair amount of time in the States as well, exploring new parts of the U.S. We've been in Bali, Australia. So yeah, we've trekked around the world. We've got a good number of miles under our belt for the last few years.
That's awesome. So presently you're based out of Bali, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
How is Bali? How do you find it?
I mean, it's just like a tropical island. It's amazing. But what's been really great about Bali for us, because we did turn our profession into like an online business. So teaching courses online and, trying to figure out how to get PowerPoint traffic and connect with people. There's actually a lot of what are called digital nomads. So people who also work online that are here. So it's been actually a great resource to learn from other people about how to more properly set up your website, or to do traffic, or how to connect with people better through email marketing and stuff like that. So it's been besides it being an amazing place to live, it's been a great thing for our business so that we can get better at helping people, learn PowerPoint and reach more people online.
So that's great. And so now let's move on to what you do, your product, stuff like that. So can you tell us more about what type of products you provide, what type of training you have, and how does that help people become better presenters, better at PowerPoint?
Yeah, so the course that we kind of our flagship, most famous course, or course we're most famous for, is a PowerPoint 3x speed training course. And it's interesting you said that, there's different ways to cut becoming a better presenter. There's obviously, how do I script out my presentation? How do I select better visuals? Body language. There's like all these different things that go into it. And our course is really down and dirty, hardcore inside of PowerPoint. So it's like hacks, tips, tricks, shortcuts for doing everything you do inside of PowerPoint better. So we've had, for example, one of my favorite bad reviews about our course was someone, gave it 2 stars out of 5 and said, it's too focused on speed and being efficient and doing all these shortcuts. I want to learn how to do something different. I want to learn how to like speak better in front of people. And I was like, well, that's great. And that's important, but that's not what our course is about. It
Absolutely.
actually is just about all the hacks, tips, tricks, and shortcuts in PowerPoint.
And I think also one thing to keep in mind is we designed that course because it was something that we wish we'd had. So when we were working in the corporate world, we weren't doing that many like TED Talk presentations. We weren't doing, a lot of the advice that was out there about how to, copy Steve Jobs was really not helpful when you're like writing a pitch book, when you're creating a report for somebody and you're like, it needs to be, small font, it needs to have a lot of content on it. And there's still a lot of ways to do it better, but it was very frustrating to not have resources and help for how to make those types of documents better. And so our course was really about, in the beginning we joked that like, we don't care if you make an ugly slide, at least you'll make the slide faster, so you'll have more time then maybe to go back and make the slide more attractive. So
absolutely
we focus on speed. Speed and efficiency is our kind of our niche.
Yes, I have seen your course and it's amazing. And what I find is it actually makes people do a lot of things so much faster than what they would have done it otherwise, And when you actually do your content faster, you have time to do it better. Right. So I think it also, a good side effect, a good result is that you will end up creating better slides.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so what other products do you have other than the speed training?
We branched out a little bit. So we work with a partner whose name is PowerPoint Spice or Spicy Presentations. And she's heavily focused on animations and really cool effects. She does a lot of 3D stuff as well, and VR, AR. So if you're interested in sort of like the future of presentations, she has a course all about animations and how to, build animations the right way so that it doesn't become this crazy mess at the end of it.
True.
So she has a course on that, which is amazing. And she also sells a lot of her animation slides. So the actual effects that she creates, you can buy, so you can actually take it apart and see how she made it and use it in your own presentation. So that's something completely different from what we traditionally normally do, but she is an amazing, she's a star at that. So so we provide that on our website as well for anyone who really wants to dig into animations.
Absolutely. So all this stuff is available on your website for people to go and buy and try it out, stuff like that. So tell us more about your website and the name of your website, how to get there.
Yeah, the name of our website is nutsandboltsspeedtraining.com. It's basically a large knowledge base of PowerPoint hacks, tips, and tricks is how most people find us online these days. So we write detailed articles about how to narrate stuff in PowerPoint, how to fix your slide numbers when they're broken. There's like all these little pesky things that kind of pop up. We also have a newsletter that people sometimes, you can join from our website or look at our courses and stuff like that. So that's kind of our website as a nutshell, just kind of a knowledge base of PowerPoint hack trickery to, as we always say in our videos, get you to happy hour.
And for anyone who's not ready for a course, our courses are typically for either advanced users or people who are going to need to use a program very frequently. And so our courses are great for anyone who wants to take their skills to the next level. But sometimes someone just needs a solution to a quick problem that they're facing in PowerPoint. And so we write a ton of articles. We have a lot of free YouTube videos as well, like on our YouTube channel, that provide answers for anyone who's just looking to solve something, that they're fighting their computer with at this exact moment.
That's definitely the. So for anyone who uses a lot of PowerPoint, and you both of you have probably, I don't know, 1 million hours of PowerPoint. So what's your advice to people who are using PowerPoint and presentations? Is one thing they could do to make their presentations better? What should they do?
I mean, from a speed perspective, what I always tell people to do, because people are like, oh, I need to learn shortcuts. I'm gonna go look up shortcuts online, and you can easily find lists of 200 plus shortcuts in PowerPoint, which is overwhelming.
Yes.
So when people say I want to get faster at PowerPoint, what's the first thing I can do? I always tell them, think of the one thing that you do the most inside of PowerPoint right now. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's the best thing, the worst thing. Just like figure out the shortcut for that, or figure out how to set that up on your QAT as a shortcut. Like, you can focus on all these things, like what whispers I talk about in our trainings, like what whispers, like all these things you could do, should do, maybe one day you'll touch. And there's the things that scream, like the thing that you're doing every single day right now in the program. That's the very first thing. If you want to speed yourself up, you need to figure out some way to shortcut or hack that.
Absolutely. And is there any favorite shortcut that you use all the time more than any other shortcut?
I mean, I think there's the best
More
PowerPoint
than-
shortcut ever you can set up is putting the alignment tool in the first position on your quick access toolbar, because that'll just
Yes.
everything on your slides, but that requires a little bit, 10 seconds of setup. Other than that, I think Control-Shift-D is the other one I use the most, which is just duplicating a slide. So as you're out your deck, you hit Control-Shift-D, it'll duplicate your layout. You can tweak it. You hit Control-Shift-D again, you make another iteration, and that way you can quickly start to give your bosses, clients, colleagues different looks at the same slide. They can pick the one they like best. They're involved in the process, and they're like, oh, this looks amazing. Thank you.
I'd say mine is Control-D. So basically the sister shortcut of what Taylor mentioned. So
Yes.
Control-D will duplicate anything. So instead of going back up and inserting another rectangle and then formatting it all over again, you can just select an object, Control-D, and it'll create a duplicate, a copy of it immediately. It's super fast.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much, Camille and Taylor. This was real fun. Enjoyed doing this conversation with you.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you. Okay, have a great day, both of you, and hope to have you back again.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Explore more concepts at Indezine.com.
Indezine.
Make better presentations fast.